welcome to Qsports. I'm Umudu Gajaga, and thank you very much for joining us. Coming up this afternoon, Real de Banjul are champions of the Gambia's First Division League for the 14th time. Well, the club just recently have broke a record when it comes to the number of points accumulated in one season. We'll be talking about that into detail, but another history has been made in Gambian football. There are new FF Cup champions. They're called Medina United. Well, Medina United started off, of course, as a football academy. They played Nawetan. They played third division qualifiers into the second division. And guess what? Teams like Brikama United were knocked out in the process in getting to the final until yesterday when they played against TMT in the finals and won on penalties. We'll bring you details about that. But also, on this platform, we'll be talking about Gina Mariam Bass Biteye, who signed an endorsement deal with Qcell, the queen of the tracks, the Gambia's most decorated athlete as far as track is concerned. We'll be talking about her. And also, there was a football final in Yundum sponsored by Qcell. We'll be delving into that as well. All that on this afternoon's Qsports. But first, let's start with Gina Mariam Bass Biteye, who signed an endorsement deal with Qcell yesterday at a ceremony held here at the Qcell Building Auditorium. Let's get details about that. Bass Biteye, Gambia's track sensation, has been signed as a brand ambassador by Qcell, the country's most innovative GSM provider. The star athlete had arrived in the country the day before to a great fanfare and a warm welcome. This historic partnership was held in the Qcell Auditorium at an event attended by several dignitaries and the athlete's husband and longtime manager, Mustafa Biteye, who also made a short speech. Mariam Bass Biteye thanked Qcell for the endorsement.
I don't have much to say, but to thank Qcell at large. And they say if your back is strong, make you push harder. So I don't have any fear and I don't have any stress. So I'm really grateful being here today and be decorated among Qcell now.
Qcell takes pride in its innovation, quality network, and in having the country's broadest coverage. So collaborating with one of Africa's fastest women is an appropriate and significant accomplishment. Here is Ami Cisse, Senior Manager with Qcell Marketing.
I think we can all agree that it is only right that the fastest athlete gets to partner with the fastest internet provider in this country. We look forward to this partnership. We're inspired by Gina's journey and the impact she's made in the sporting world. She happens to be very humble, but her achievements are no small feat.
Mohamed Jah, chairman of the Q Group, has been a champion of Gambia and Gambianness, always emphasizing the need to celebrate our own. He describes Gina as a hard-working individual who everyone is proud to be associated with.
We don't just sign people like that. We went through, Gina's track, and we saw that Gina has the values which Qcell and the Q Group believes in. Everybody in the country knows that the three principles of the Q Group, when you are join the Q Group, is discipline, hard work, and honesty. And we believe that Gina carries those values as well. So it's not surprising that Qcell is signing Gina today for her to represent us globally.
This deal is a continuation of Qcell's partnership with elite Gambian sports, particularly football, following its successful sponsorship of the Gambia senior men's football team on their last AFCON adventure. This endorsement deal with Gina Mariam appears to have opened new opportunities in athletics. Bakari Baje, the Minister of Youth and Sports, says the partnership is a fantastic initiative that complements the efforts of government.
Personally, I've been in the media and they will say, oh, government is not doing this. And I said, well, there is nowhere in the world where governments make an athlete rich. It's a misconception that our people have that governments should give money to the athletes. Yes, we do. When they participate, when they compete and they win medals, we reward them for the medals that they win. But what makes an artist rich is the endorsements that they get from the private sector, is the signing for promotional activities that they do with the private sector, and that is what Qcell is doing today.
Other speakers, including Beatrice Allen, President of the Gambia National Olympic Committee, Amira Jane, First Vice President of the Gambia Athletics Association, and Commissioner Bojang, who represents the Inspector General of Police, all praised QCell's partnership and congratulated Gina. Gina's next big appointment is at the Paris Olympics, where she will arrive in fine form, high spirits, and with the endorsement of QCell and the best wishes of every Gambian. We say hearty congratulations to Gina Mariam Bass, the husband, Mustafa Bite, and everybody associated with her, and wish her all the best of luck when it comes to her exploits in the Paris Olympics. Her ultimate goal and objective is to reach the final, and we hope and pray that she gets that dream fulfilled and realized in just a month later. Now let's talk about Real de Banjul. They're champions of the GFF First Division League for the 14th time with a record number of points. Let's get the details about what went on in their final game of the season when they played against Falcons, who are in second place. And it's the same Falcons that lost to Real de Banjul again last season. In fact, that one was a tight affair until the final day of the season. It was almost seeming like Falcons have the opportunity to win their first league title, but somehow Real de Banjul knocked them off. This time again, it was almost virtually the same thing, but Real won the league, in fact unassailably, weeks before the final day. One of the Gambia's most successful football clubs, Real de Banjul, are champions on the final day of the season, although their league title was assured weeks ago, such as the gap they had established between them and second-place Falcons. It was somehow fitting that the top two clashed in the final match of the season. Despite having already clinched the title, Real were not in the mood to drop the standards that they had set during the season. However, Falcons threatened to spoil the party when Falcons' Bakary Toure levelled the scores after Modulamin Jabate's 58-minute opener. However, Real fans were back in celebration mode when Modou Mane scored his first goal of the season in the 72nd minute to restore the champions' lead. Real de Banjul won the league with 68 points from 30 games. They won 20 games, lost just 4 times, drew 5, scored 55 goals and conceded 20, and had a goal difference of 35. Falcons fell short for the second time in a row. They surrendered the league to Real de Banjul last season, when they were on top of the table until the last day of the season. This season, Real de Banjul had a 16-point gap. William Abraham, president of Real de Banjul, says his team had put in so much effort after losing 6 key players.
We lost about 6 players, and still we won the league with how many points from the second position. So this year we were ready because we knew that all the teams were ready for us. So we had a good backup in the first team. We brought in some very energetic players, very young, that were ready to fight and make sure we win the league. And that's why we won it.
Samba Jallo, a player for Real de Banjul, shared his joy at being part of a team that has won the league twice in a row.
This is a joyous moment anyway. Yeah, winning the Gambian League for a second consecutive time, it's not easy. Definitely we've put up a lot of work and we fight very hard also to see to it that we achieve our dreams. Like you said, I struggle with some injuries, but that is part of football. Just I have faith and I try to work hard to get back to my feet, and here I am today, I'm a champion.
This title win takes Real de Banjul to 14 league titles, with only Walidan, who faced a relegation playoff this season, having a better record with 16 league titles. For now though, Real de Banjul are riding high. Congratulations to Real de Banjul, winners of the Gambia's First Division League 2023-2024 season. Still on Real de Banjul, their president, William Abraham, had an earlier interview where he dedicated the league title to one of the club's former presidents. Let's listen to this interview.
Mamadou Gassama is a lifetime president of the club. May his soul rest in peace. And we have decided that this year's trophy will be dedicated to him and his family. I remember last year when we won the trophy, he was very sick. And we went to his house and presented him with the league trophy. So it's very sad for us because Mamadou Gassama, commonly known as Gassa, was a great person, a great contributor, one of the founder members of the club. And he has been very supportive to us all throughout my career in the club and the executive members. He has been a father to us, and he's always been concerned about the club, and he has been supportive during when the club was very down in the early days of our coming into the club. And we pray for him to be taken to heaven because he was a fantastic guy. And we all were at the funeral and everybody said very good and positive things about him. So it's somebody that we will miss, and we are dedicating this trophy to him. When we receive it, we will go with everybody like what we did last year and present it to the wife so that they will know that he is still in our thoughts and in our prayers. First of all, I would like to congratulate the coach. He did a fantastic job, Ibrahim Ajata Giggs, and his staff, the team manager, the technical director, and everybody who contributed in this championship. It has been a good season. We have scored a lot of goals. We have defended well. The performance of the club was very good all throughout. We had some games where we lost, but it was not much. I think we lost only about 4 games in the whole season, which is a great achievement for us. So far, we are at 61 points, hoping to break the record of Hawks with the 3 games left. This is what we expect from the club. It's all hard work from everybody in the club, in all areas, all departments. When we brought the coach, we had a good talk with him. We told him the club is a club that is marketing players and we want to win titles. So he's been here for 3 years, and we thank God for giving him and all of us the league at the 3rd year of the coach, because the 1st year he was assistant of Baima Lawada, who is a legend of the club. The 2nd year he was the assistant of Slava, who was here on a 1-year mission from our partner club Paide, who we also want to thank. And now Ibrahim Ajata has taken leadership of the technical team, and he's done extremely well. And this is what we expect from him and the staff, to win titles and also to develop players.
William Abraham there, the president of Real de Banjul Football Club. Well, he was talking about the club's one of the founding members and also lifetime president, Mamadou Gassama there, who is late. Tijan Masane Sise is with me in the studio, veteran broadcaster, sports commentator. He's always into football. His life is being completely dedicated to football. Aside from his previous job as a veteran football commentator, he is now part of the members who are running Medina United Football Club. Well, of course, they have a football academy. They used to be in Nawetan, and they've successfully elevated themselves, played the 3rd division qualifiers, and now they're into the 2nd division. And this year, their performance was very good, and they eventually won an accolade, that is the FF Cup. If you don't win the 1st division, if you win the FF Cup, it's like you missed out on the Champions League and you won the Europa League. Tijan joins me in the studio, of course, with his club's general manager, Sana Jobate. Tijan Masane Sise, welcome to the show. And today in Medina United, JS. Fantastic. Congratulations first.
Thank you so very much. It's our pleasure being here.
Yes, Sana Jobate, it must feel very great for a club like yours, not long in the 2nd division, this time reaching the finals of the FF Cup, not only reaching the final, but eventually won it.
Great feeling, great to be here. and great to be a champion. What a day it was for us yesterday.
Fantastic. Well, Tijan, just before getting into Medina United, Mamadou Gassama, of course, is somebody that you must have known, had several encounters with.
I do know him. Actually, he was the Secretary General of Real de Banjul. And back then, I was Real. He was actually grooming me to be the next Secretary General. But I jumped ship and joined Young Africans, yes. He is one of the founding members back in 1966-67 that went to play in Senegal and returned to form what was Benson and Hedges. Actually, he also played on the team. He was a right winger. And I remember when Real had double-digit numbers, he was number 99. And everything Willie said about the man is a fact, a good man.
Okay, Tijan, we'll come back to you. But just, Sana, let's talk about the club, Medina United. You've just been champions. Your existence hasn't been that long enough in the second division.
Definitely. Definitely, yes. If you know Medina, it started as a football academy. So quickly to give you a summary of who we are. We started as a football academy in 2019. Then we played Nawetan, groom players, send them to Banjul to play third division. We tried the first year, we could not. We finished mid-table. And I thought that was largely due to inexperience. So the second year, we set standard. We said second best is not an option. So we rode all the way, swept everything, get to the finals, won, play the triangular, and then we get into the second division. This is our first year in the second division. And you know, since we could not get promotion, we thought there's a way out. So we have to reward the entire management, and they found a trophy. And we set all plans and strategies to make sure we land the giant FF Cup to the entire team, the players, the fans, and anyone who is associated with the club.
On your way to the final, you've knocked out my team, Brikama United.
Of course.
You've knocked out Steve Biko,
Banjul,
Hearts, and then Hearts FC,
and
then
TMT.
TMT in the final eventually. So let's talk about penalty shootouts. Are you specialists? Is it something that you train? Is it down to luck?
No, I don't think it's down to luck. It's down to training. Honestly, our coaches will make sure they do practice at least 30 minutes after every training session, and they'll put it on record to see how the tally of each player. So that tells you that if you're going out for shootouts, X, Y, and Z will come forward. And our goalkeepers are also very, very, very committed to this. So they watch a lot of great players, great goalkeepers have the same penalties, they learn a lesson. So we always know this is a cup final, so there are high chances that you end up doing penalties. So we don't take chances, we train. Of course, we are lucky to win, but I think it was down to hard work.
Fantastic. Congratulations once more. Well, Tijan, apologies for that, but you were talking about Mamadou Gassama, your connection with him, and then Real de Banjul in general.
Yeah, he played a very, very key role in the formation of Real de Banjul and served as the Secretary General. And if my memory serves me right, one of the Gold Cup finals that Real was in, I was already a cup commentator. He wrote the biography of Real de Banjul and gave it to me. And that is how I know that it was formed after a group of schoolboys returned from playing in chess. The man was a very decent man, a good man. You know, I lived at Lancaster and he was one of the elders. He was everything you asked for in a gentleman.
Yes, Tijan, let's talk about Medina United. You being one of the brainchilds of the coming of this team, the academy aspect of it, developing, grooming young players, but all of a sudden, you said to yourself, why not compete at the elite level? You started off, of course, in the qualifiers of the third division, get the qualification spot, get into the second division, competed, and here you are, FF Cup champions.
Well, my younger brother conceived this idea. I remember 5 years ago, he came, he wanted to do an academy. After he came, and he moved to Lamin and saw Medina, and Sana and them convinced him. And he came back to the States and said, this is what I want to do. And, you know, you retired now. Why don't you come home and be CEO of the academy? And, you know, Mike is very determined. Mike Nichols, my younger brother, very determined, very committed, puts a lot of resources into the project. It's a project. And our motto has been, it's a process. And second best is not an option. This is what we took from our mentor, Father Joseph Goff. We're a very structured academy. We work hard. We have teams from U9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 17, 19, and 23. And then this senior team. As a matter of fact, our U10 just won the Live Your Dream Championship a few weeks ago.
That's what it is.
With the kid that's trending right now, Malang Fati Messi, who won 6 awards throughout the tournament. It's been determination, it's been guts, it's been courage. There are kids that live all the way in Kartong, and it's the force to be at practice every day, 6 a.m. So when you see that resilience, you want to do more. And yesterday's game, of course, we played a very good team. Our hats off to them. We were just the lucky team to win. Anybody can win from the spot, but they're a very structured and organized team. And they came out, they gave it their all. We just happened to win from penalties. It was not whatever I was throwing on the ground. It was just Geresimbam for the record.
Exactly.
For the record. It's trending on TikTok. So let me just make sure everybody knows it was Geresimbam. Because they tell you traditionally, when they put the injury on you, the Geresimbam breaks it.
Breaks it, yeah.
So we put it down and the players walked over it. So, but in all seriousness though, I am proud of the leadership that we have. I don't have to be here. I do 2 months here and go back to the States. This kid right here is a genius. He's the vice principal of a high school in Lemon, Babylon. Now you see why we have a very high premium on academics. He runs an institution. If you don't do well in school, you cannot be part of the academy. In fact, the first weekend of every month, if you don't cut your hair, you can't come to the academy.
Lots of discipline.
Yes.
And that has to bring me to you, Sana Jubate. I visited the Medina United Academy. Of course, I was there with Tijan. But basically, just before that, we'll take a short break, and then when we're back, we'll continue the discussion.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. Qcell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Have you been looking for the perfect indoor router with long-range Wi-Fi coverage and faster internet speed connecting all your smart devices? Well, we present to you the Qcell Indoor Router, a router that has all you need and much more. For just $4,275, you can get 4G plus internet speed, wide coverage, and connect up to 15 devices. That's not all. The indoor router can be used for both office and home needs. So, enhance your internet experience with our indoor router. For more info, call our customer care on 111. Qcell, Sunubus, we innovate, others follow.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. Qcell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Looking for internet for your free videos, pictures, chats, work, and school projects? Think free night browsing. Qcell's free night browsing lets you browse the internet for free. Oh yeah. Get a data SIM, recharge a minimum of $500 and enjoy free browsing after 24 hours from midnight to 6 a.m. every
Get
night.
a QCell SIM card for free. Yes, absolutely free. Walk into any of our customer care centers and get a SIM free of charge. With a QCell SIM card, you can get the fastest and the most reliable internet plus wide range of amazing services. So rush now to any of our care centers and get a free SIM now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell Sunyubus. We innovate, others follow.
30 days. QCell, Sunyubus. We innovate, others follow.
An end-to-end exhilarating football final was decided not only.
Have you been looking for the perfect indoor router with long-range Wi-Fi coverage and faster internet speed connecting all your smart devices? Well, we present to you the Qcell Indoor Router, a router that has all you need and much more. For just $4,275, you can get 4G plus internet speed, wide coverage, and connect up to 15 devices. And that's not all. The indoor router can be used for both office and home needs. So, enhance your internet experience with our indoor router. For more info, call our customer care on 111. Qcell, Sunyubus.
Get a QCell SIM card for free. Yes, absolutely free. Walk into any of our customer care centers and get a SIM free of charge. With a QCell SIM card, you can get the fastest and the most reliable internet plus wide range of amazing services. So rush now to any of our care centers and get a free SIM now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell Sunyubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking for internet for your free videos, pictures, chats, work, and school projects? Think free night browsing. Qcell's free night browsing lets you browse the internet for free. Oh yeah. Get a data SIM, recharge a minimum of $500 and enjoy free browsing after 24 hours from midnight to 6 a.m. every night for 30 days. Qcell, Sunyubus. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back, and this is Qsports. We apologize for that little interruption there, but we'll continue. We're talking about Medina United FC, a team in the second division, now winners of the FF Cup. Yesterday, they beat TMT 3-2 on the penalty shootouts. I asked them the question if they're specialists in penalties. Is it that magic luck that is with them, or is it just down to dedication, hard work and performance? Well, son, I was going to engage you about the importance of academics in your sporting activities, football in particular. You run an academy, but one of the key things when I first visited there, Tijan emphasized, is about you have to be good at books as well. You have to go to school. Education is a must first, and then you have the sporting aspect second. Mm-hmm. How is that working out?
Like I say, I like to quote my mentor. We attach a lot of premium to education. We knew there's life after football. We knew you have to understand the dynamics of the game as you progress. If you are a pro, there are things that we expect you to know. You know, we will not be there to represent you every time, but you have to move from one stage to another. You have to sign contracts. You have to understand how they work. You have to talk to media. You have to know how to handle press conferences here and there. You have to travel schedules. You know, in the real world, people don't tell you all these things. They just send you an email and you expect it to know. So for us, if you are not good at books, we wouldn't mind to call your parents and say, look, we will give him an off. Maybe he can go for a term or two, pending his progress in classroom. So when you come, you will have to check your grades. We don't have to ask you. We know all the schools that our students are, our footballers are, so we can track them. You go to the school and get the authentic results. So in that way, you cannot forge it. You cannot give us the fake thing. So we know. So they know if you are not good in books, then you are not going to make the first 11. So we attach a lot of premium to education. It's a core value.
Is that an aspect that helps them in terms of performance also? Because if you know, if I go to class, do well, I'll have a chance to play in the team.
Exactly. The two connect. So it have to be gym intelligence. When you are educated, simple instruction, the coach tells you now, okay, we are a man down, we have to play this system. You know in your mind, okay, we are a man down, so we need to work harder. We need to increase our energy, our effort in the gym. So it adds up. When they are good at books, 90% there are high chances that they will understand basic instruction that the coach is putting forward. They understand the management expectations. When you tell them basic things, they know. They know from the word go, everybody clicks. But if you bring people who are not schooled, definitely it's a challenge. If you are walking at speed 50, maybe you'll have to walk at speed 100 to put all of them in the same bus. We don't have time. You all know that. That's everybody's issue now. You have to manage time, and you don't want to repeat instruction over and over just because 2 or 3 people don't understand.
Okay, when it comes to the competition aspect of it, in the run to the FF Cup, of course you competed in the 2nd division. In terms of performance, you would have loved to be promoted in the
Definitely.
1st division.
Definitely.
But is this trophy a compensation for not being able to get that top 3 spots to get automatic qualification for the 1st division?
Yes, definitely. I think it's a big compensation, a big reward for the fans, for the players, for the management. At least something that we can take home and say, well, after all, we have something in our cabin. Honestly, we would have loved to get promotion over winning the FF Cup, but since that is not done, we would rather take the FF Cup as a consolation for this year, largely due to inexperience. Debutants, these are things that you learn, these are challenges that you face, but we've learned our lesson. When we went back, when we go back to the drawing board, I'm sure that we will try to fix 1 or 2 things, and next year will come different.
Yes, the same competition. If you have in the 2nd division teams like Hawks, eventually they're the champions. They got promoted back to the 1st division. In fact, they always belong to the 1st division, but dropped out for some reason due to performance. And then you have Hearts Academy, one of also the new faces in Gambian football, being promoted. How was the competition like between your team and these teams in the 2nd division?
I think it was our difference was experience. So Hawks have all the experience in the 1st division. Let's focus about 2nd division. And Hearts has been there for the past 5 years. I knew them. I worked with them when I was in posting in Mansa Congo. I knew what they were doing. It's a process. So we have the same philosophy. They believe in young players. They take time. They took time with them. Growth from one level to another, and eventually it pays off. So we are also doing the same thing. We are trying to learn from the best internally and externally. So last year we were in Dakar. We visited Qsports. We visited all the École de Foot there. We visited the PSG Academy in Dakar. The last summer we were in Casamas to check Qsports. So we are trying to pick best experience from all these places and then put them together. When we amalgamate them, we think we'll get the results in no time.
Fantastic. Well, Tijan Masana Sise, what's the ultimate objective Medina United? Every team that establishes in the Gambia, the end goal is to get the players in the right shape of mind and get them into the best of performances to a level where they will be seen by clubs outside the Gambia, whether it is within Africa, in Europe. Ultimately, that's the objective. What's the ultimate goal for Medina United?
That is within the plans, and I would say in the medium time, really, we're working on it. Of course, I don't know if you're aware, we just brought the United States Soccer Coaches Association here to work with our coaches at diploma course. We have the connections, of course, but again, like Sana just said, it's a process. First and foremost, what we want to do is to get promotion to the top flight of the Football Federation League. That is our goal. And like I told him, it's either promotion or bust. Because we thought this year, with our level of play, we tied Hawks in the first round. We thought with our level of play, we could have been in the first division. It did not happen. Like he said, we consoled with the FF Cup. But again, the FF Cup is no small feat. In association football, it is big. So we take pride in the fact, but with much humility. Our heads are not going to get big. We think we're the best team now. No, we're not. I think yesterday we played a very good team, like I said, and we were at par with them. We went to a penalty shootout. One of the things about the penalties, though, we have a very, very young 18-year-old good goalkeeper who is a specialist in penalties. I was sitting back there with the police band, and I said, if we go to the spot, we're going to win this game. That's how much confidence we have in Marcelo. Also, our number 10 yesterday, Dominic, he just did a stint with Girona in Spain, 18 years old. Our halfback right, Kabila, the whole team, Woro, Africa, all of them, Modusajo, these people, some of them do have experience too. Modusajo used to play with Hawks, and now he plays with us. So, like I said, it's a process, one day at a time, one game at a time.
Tijani, it takes a lot to run a football club. Your project, aside from competing in the second division, you have a football academy, underage players, they're like under 9, under 11, under 16, under 17, up to, you have the senior team that is competing in the second division. What does it take to run a football club?
Actually, and a tennis program we've just added. And a volleyball program is coming.
You guys are all over the place.
Yes.
A facility.
It is a sporting facility, multi-sport facility. Right now, we're working on the second field. The first field is going to be closed tomorrow. Our partner team, Young Africans, are also playing go to the second division on Monday. We've brought new grass from the US that should survive this heat for our main field. We just started doing the second field, and that's part of the process. It's a lot of work. Sometimes, like when we camp, 5:30 in the morning, we have to be there, make sure they have their breakfast, 6 a.m., it's a lot of running, but you have to be committed to the process. And budget-wise,
Football is expensive.
Very expensive. Tell me
and
about
in
it.
Gambia, not much returns, for now at least.
Yes.
Yes. So how do you cope with that? How do you deal with that? Spending millions in a football team, get it running. Yes, it's a long-term process, we all know, but at some point do you kind of feel like, you know what? Should I just hold my horses and try to maybe reinvest into something else?
I think it takes a lot of sacrifice, and there's a motto that that we were left with by the legendary Father Goff: don't ever call it quit. And we don't know how to quit, and taking from the St. Augustine school song, at books or play, we win our way. So we don't know how to quit. Like I said, my brother Mike he's crazy about football, and he put his last dime into it. And he's done a tremendous job funding the team, and of course some of our sponsors too. Lately we've got sponsors that have been supporting, one way or another. And, donations from here and there, that have been helping us. But really, you're right, there is no returns right now, but it's an investment. Like I always tell him, planning is a predetermined course for action.
Action. Wonderful. Yeah. Hey, Sana, let's talk about the level of competition in this country. We all know we don't have the good pitches sometimes. You play on better pitches, the likes of the pitch in Brikama. Currently, Serekunda is a little bit better. Banjul almost completely damaged. If your match is settled there, I know as a coach or as a football administrator, you have sleepless nights And in Bakau as well, the pitch is almost virtually crumbling. You know, that's in fact a pitch where nobody should play football. Serious football, I mean. The first division, it's the elite football in Gambia. The likes of Manjai and others. How do you cope with this kind of things? Because there is the risk of injuries. And there are certain injuries in this country, to be able to manage them is difficult. Like a twisted ankle, you know, knee ligament and things like that.
Well, undoubtedly, we have some pitch that are fine, like the GFF pitch.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
it's fine. The one in Shoma is good. Birkama and Bashori are all fine. Of course, at the beginning of the season, Banjul was better, but as the league progresses, it always become unplayable. And I think the Coaches Association wrote a recommendation to FF to say it is not fit for football. So those Banjul and the one in Bako, I guess, are not up to standard, I feel. Maybe I'm wrong. The one in Serkunda is 60%, is fine. So there are high risks when you play. I think we lost one of player, Adama, who could have been, for me, been in the under-20 had he played the whole season. But unfortunately, since November, he went off and we spent nothing less than 100K on him, treating him to get back to fitness. But up to now, he doesn't. So it's a big challenge for football, and as administrators, these are things that the FF or the clubs should take up. If all the clubs can have their own backyard fields, like Real had, that will solve the problem, partly. So it will have to be a two-way thing. We believe in saying that the FF must do it, but teams also have their responsibilities. So if we all have good pitch, I think it will be better. Imagine 60 teams playing around 5 or 6 pitches. When I say 60, I mean first division, second division, male and female. So it's just too much. Navitan alone is about 100 teams playing on one pitch. So that's why maintenance of these pitches will be a lot of problems as long as we don't have enough pitches. So we will, even at some point, the one in Shoma and one in Basori will have a lot of wear and tear, so they will all go off. There's a lot more we can do.
So when it comes to Soma, I've seen some complaints. Maybe for you, you obviously know it's a schedule if you have to travel to Soma. Going there to play a football game and then coming back. And it's almost a fortress. Whoever goes to play Heart Academy is like almost a defeat for you, psychologically, in fact, even before you kick the ball. How did you manage? Did you get a win there, or did you manage a draw against them?
I like what Obama said. The only permanent thing in life is changes. So the provincial Gambia is part of the Gambia. So I'm going to Jara Soma, for me, we say no complaint for us. And in fact, we beat them in their backyard. So I don't think going to Soma is a problem. Of course, this is the league, so it should be, in fact, we should be going beyond Soma. So we have a boss. We have a schedule. In fact, we check it in advance. So we know in 2 weeks we will be in Soma. We do all the planning. We are off. We do all our bookings, our hotel, our lodges, our meals, everything. So we are in Soma most of the time. 10 a.m. we are in Soma. We play after the game. We are off. We have no complaint in Soma. Honestly, and it's one of the best pitch your players can play. So it's just the mindset. People should embrace diversity. Diverse in the sense that they are in the provincial Gambia and we are in the urban Gambia. So we have no issues with Jara Soma, definitely. Apart from the heat.
Exactly.
Apart from the heat.
Yes, yeah, that one.
Especially during Ramadan, wow. Yeah, that's
the temperatures are 40, 41 degrees.
Yeah. I think if they can have night matches there, it will help. Of course, the people of Soma will want it in the daytime, so that will be an advantage
for them.
Yeah.
Because they've already acclimatized.
Definitely.
They've been used to the weather. Well, Tijan, despite the challenges that we have in our football, one of them, lack of enough pitches and good, proper football infrastructure, we have some of our players being exported, some of them almost directly from the Gambian League to play professional football. One is Yankuba Minte, has just played here a little while and then went to OB Odense in the Danish Superliga. That's where Newcastle United spotted him, loaned him to Feyenoord, had a fantastic season. Now Brighton Hove Albion. That's kind of a classical example that, you know, if you have the infrastructure, if you have the ready facilities available, perhaps we could produce more players.
And you look like you in our in our meetings, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that is the plan for Medina United. Like, we've already sent one on tryouts. There were 2 that was spotted by Inter Miami. Unfortunately, we were not able to secure the visas here, but they were spotted and scouted by Inter Miami. As we speak, we have another one that has been scouted and should be getting out of here to go on trials pretty soon. So again, it's a process, one day at a time, and together we'll get there. You see, whenever you structure, everybody in Medina he leads. Our Secretary General is the Director of Operations. And the leadership counts, and just the way Sana pushes when he plays draft or chess is just amazing. And he has a lot to do with the success of our organization, and I can't speak. I don't know what to say about him, but his decency and integrity and what he brings to the table, being able to manage hundreds of thousands of dollars, when we're not here, speaks volumes about him and his leadership. And really, that is the key for us, him putting the structure in place and managing it.
You've touched about technical capacity, well, how good and importance you've put to education, academics of the players, but the technical staff is hugely important because let's say Medina United gets to the first division, they eventually become champions, they want to participate in the CAF Champions League. There are minimum requirements for coaches. You at least have to have a B license. If that's not the case, then you would have to sort out to get another coach to be on your bench, maybe register him as a coach or also something like that. Are you looking inwards, outside the box?
Well,
to get...
not necessarily.
Yes.
Our coach is a renowned coach in Gambian football. He's done it all. He's won the league, he's won the Super Cup, and yesterday he won the FF Cup in Aliou Jagne. He was the former coach of Hawks.
Yeah.
And our technical director is Sang Mendy, who's also a vice principal, and he holds a CAF C license. So, and all our coaches have even D licenses. So we also trying to equip them with the requisite attributes. When we have the courses that the GFF offers, the technical director, Sang Dong, we put them in there and get them to go through the courses. We're trying to elevate them. So I think Aliou Jagne is completely qualified to coach at any level. Given, if you just look at the kid's strategy, what he does, the way he's able to play behind the ball and build counters using the flanks is amazing. Amazing. I watched his practice for the first time in detail 3 days ago when they would and I saw what he was doing. I'm like, wow, kid's got game, man. Damn, he's got game.
Fantastic. Well, Sana, I was at Gambino's football academy in Mandina Ring some time ago. Your team, Medina United, one of your junior teams competed in that competition. In fact, they became runner-up in one of the competitions there. The level of football that I see, high pressing, starting from behind, like Tijan was just describing there, is really amazing. Looking at those kids, what's the future? What are you seeing?
Exactly. Gambinos and Medina, I think we are on the same footing. We have the right tool, the right infrastructure, the technical know-how, to be fair. I think the philosophy you have and the philosophy that what's the name of the academy? Gambinos have is the same. So if we can keep them, for the next, let's say 5, 6, 7 years, I think the national team will take care of itself.
That's fair.
We will have enough players to choose from. We have a pool of brilliant players to choose from. So what we do and what they do is the same. We make sure we place them with the right ages, no age cheating. Okay? We support them, give them nutrition. Tijan did not talk about that.
Yeah.
We know them, we know generally Gambians don't grow fast. So we have to place them with nutrition to make sure they grow faster. Okay? Healthily though. So if we have that and Gambinos and other academies around doing the same thing, like I said, under 17 will be rejuvenated. It's almost dormant for some reasons. The under 20 will, it has been striving, but there will be additional players for the coach to choose from. And the national team, as we said, once we take care of the grassroots, the national team will take care of itself. So we will not have players, insufficient players. We'll have enough players to choose from.
And talking about age has been an issue, long time. And I know is something that when you talk about, you touch some nerves. I have issues with people in football when I once criticized about when it comes to the selection of teams under 17, when we had issues previously in Senegal. You have almost about 8-9 members of the team that are being described as being over age. They went through an MRI, of course, now they do it. Magnetic resonance imaging, which, okay, cannot predict your age, but can say your bones are more than the age that you are putting on paper. So we have those issues. But with football academies, Tijan, I think that trajectory can change.
Well, we don't play with the age thing, and the coaches know if anybody is caught trying to
falsify their age.
Yes, you don't have a job with us anymore.
Yeah, from the coach, yeah.
Yes. So that is why when the kids come to register, they come with their mother or father with their original birth certificate. Every kid that registered in Medina, that is a requirement. Because like you said, we've been disqualified. I remember back in 1983 when we went to the Ivory Coast and beat them, only to be disqualified, and it kept coming and coming, you know. So we had overage players, you know, and some of our players were actually pictured at halftime and put on the fraternity maternity next day.
Next day, yeah.
So yes, we do put a lot of emphasis on that, you know, I mean. And also it's about an integrity thing. You know, we don't want to mortgage the integrity and reputation of our institution. You know, we want to make sure.
And sometimes it's not always about winning. It's about developing the players.
Very good. Exactly.
Get them to a certain point.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not about glory hunting. You know,
Exactly.
okay, you want to win at all cost, but eventually these players, if they are more than the age that you present, longevity becomes an issue.
You see, that's why I call it a process. Now, you see, when you fake these ages and these kids luckily have a contract, you know, you already, 22, they say you're 17. You know, 5 years' time, you're done.
Yeah.
Because your actual age catches up
with you. Yeah.
And that has happened many a time.
And with modern day football, the intensity of the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're aging, it of course catches up with you and then it shows.
Yeah. I remember David Moyes once asked Yakubu if he was really 30. Yeah. So Yakubu, of all people, he was his key player, but there are some training sessions that he could not complete. There are some distance that he cannot cover. And, you know, David Moyes questioned this. And, you know, for the smart ones, they knew he was indirectly telling him that, I mean, you are not 30, you are probably 40 or 45. So getting the right age is important for the player, for the club, you know, for everybody associated with the sport. So what we do is when you give us your date of birth at registration, after some time, I'm sorry, I'll have to say it here, I will go to the school to double check the real age at school and what we've presented. So I remember we caught two and we just terminated their contract.
Contract, yes.
Yeah, we don't want to be liable, we want to do the right thing, at least for our nation.
Yeah, that is very, very important. And Tijan, looking at everything that's happening, the future of Gambian football, recently we've talked about the success of Yankuba Minte. That is just one out of thousands of footballers. What do you see? Academies around, people helping, trying to get players developed? Yeah.
I mean, what I saw this year, particularly in the second and third division league, the development is great. The first division, the way they're playing, tactically, technically, players are sound. And I see the improvement in our coaches. It's at another level. Because now you see tactics being employed in games, which is a considerable achievement for Gambian football. Back in the day, you know, now you see them putting in set plays, and that's quite impressive. I think with much more work needs to be done, though. But the level has gone up. Particularly, I watched a lot of second division games. You know, for example, Hearts, they play so fast. You know, there are teams that I saw, Jam City, for example. that team can play. You know, what their record says and what they are, it's completely different. Yeah, they can play. They're a decent team. So I think Gambian football, the future is quite bright, and it's been a working process. As long as I've been in Gambian football, I think it's come a long way, and God willing, we'll do better. And for us at Medina, we'll keep working, and hopefully with great journalists like you, keep promoting the game and the players. Surely we'll get there, and that's the mission.
Yes, looking forward to the great things about Medina United and all the other teams in the GFF First, Second Division, and also football academies to thrive, because that's the future of our football. And Sana, just on a final note, when it comes to the plan for Medina United after this, winning the trophy is one thing, but like you said earlier, the ultimate objective is to get the team promoted to the First Division. So you're going off season, the players go enjoy themselves, they build some weight, and then they come back, they have to burn the fat, or is it a continuous process?
I think I will give them a break, honestly. They have to take a break. That will be good for their health. So maybe that will be a 21-day break, and they will back to camp. We want to pick it up from where we stop, and that is the FF final. Then we will see either we are in Dakar or we are in Qsports for a pre-season. Ultimate goal is to reach the First Division next year, this time. Anything short of that will be considered on the achievement. So we want to give them all the necessary support they need, including the coaches. We still have to capacitize some coaches in 1 or 2 areas and do some recruitment along the off-season to see where the departments they will need to improve. But that's very technical. I may not want to delve into that. But honestly, we have plans for next season already. So like I said, if you plan ahead, you have an idea of what you want to do. You have a roadmap that you want to follow, and eventually you get to the dreamland.
Wish you all the best of luck, Medina United, with your project and with all the other teams in the country. That's it for Qsports today. Have a lovely day. Bye.